What's the dumbest mistake you've seen an incompetent coworker make? Social worker here. We're supposed to see clients who live with families once a year. A mom of a kid kept calling her worker but got no answer. Mom called the on-call worker, who discovered the assigned worker had logged the visits in and made thorough notes. The mom said she never saw her in 2 years. This led to her whole caseload being audited, and then they found she had logged a visit with a client who'd been dead for months. While being audited, her supervisor decided to do a surprise visit to the client she was supposed to see. She never showed up and logged in the visit the next day. Had a guy take a cover off the base of a radar unit which had like 40 bolts holding it on. Gave him a ratchet wrench to do it. Half hour later I go check on, had about 10 off. Watched him a bit. He would take it off each time to move it for the next turn. Showed him how a ratchet assume people know stuff. One of my coworkers took an order to feed 150 people and told them 2 platters of sandwiches would do. Each platter is 5 sandwiches cut into 3 bits. So at best, they'd have 30 pieces of sandwiches to feed 150 people. He doubled down and everything and had days to figure it out. At a Petco, all the guinea pigs were in a big plexiglass enclosure with a center divider. Boys on one side and girls on the other. An employee decided that all the long-haired guinea pigs should be on one side and short-haired on the other. It took forever to sort them out, and all the females were pregnant. I managed this recycle center for the city. The baler went down with a blown fuse. These fuses were huge, and we were looking at it trying to figure out if we could pull the fuse and where to get one. We had not shut off the power yet. Just then this guy, he was well known for not having any common sense, stuck a screwdriver into the fuse thing and caused the brightest flash of light, blinded us all for a minute. I thought for sure this guy would be dead when I got my vision back, but he was not. In fact, he was fine. I regained my composure and fired the guy on the spot and called a professional to fix the baler. To this day I am not sure how he was not injured. That was one of many things. That guy was a walking workers' comp claim just waiting to happen. I worked on a golf course during the summer area with lots of poison ivy. 2 of my coworkers were instructed to weed a river edge area. If we encounter poison ivy, we either stop what we are doing or go get full suit protection with respirators. These dumbasses were weed whacking in the thickest poison ivy I had ever seen. No protective suit or glasses or respirator. I roll up and notice what the hell they're doing and point out all the poison ivy everywhere. They were aerosolizing the oil. They both ended up in the hospital on steroid to prevent their death because of the oils they inhaled. Not a mistake necessarily, but I once witnessed our chief accounting officer and our only accountant, it was a small company, type in values into 2 Excel cells, pull out a calculator, add the 2 numbers together in the calculator, and then type the answer in a 3rd cell. She had apparently been doing this for years, with sheets consisting of thousands of rows. I explained how to use formulas and copy them, but she apparently forgot because I saw her doing the same thing again months later. Dude was shooting up heroin in the bathroom and nodded out for an hour. When the boss finally found him, he still had the needle in his arm. Fired immediately. Tried to cool down hot oil in a chute, all ready to be emptied with a nice big bucket of water. I heard Thomas know only to turn around and see a geyser of hot oil shooting towards the ceiling before it hit and splashed down around him. Nobody was hurt. Some fucking how at it because it has come up. The chute that the oil was in was on wheels and had a wooden handle. It absolutely didn't need to be cooled, lol. When I worked construction, there was a guy who showed up with nothing in his tool belt except a small bag of peanuts in one pocket. He didn't stay around too long.